Ah, good evening, Mistwalker. Have you come to hear a story? Now, where were we? The last time we saw our heroes, they had agreed to investigate some disappearances for the children of the Black Crown. Oh, they had been promised safe passage through Darkon and the erasure of Constantina's crimes. But their contact was brutally murdered, and those red widows that had infiltrated the commune had to be dealt with deadly efficiency. With no one to vouch for our heroes, they find themselves chased by an angry mob through the deep, dark forest under the light of a silver moon. Let's not keep them waiting, shall we?
Hello! Good evening, Mistwalkers. Welcome to the first episode of Tales from the Mists. It's a spooky campaign set in the Domains of Dread. With me tonight are 6 adventurers, so why don't we go ahead and introduce ourselves. We'll go ahead and start with Lisa.
My name is Lisa Chen, and I will be your Tiefling Storm Sorceress, Mercy Albrecht.
Kayla.
My name is Kayla Klein, and I will be your less than thrilled Tiefling Transmutation Wizard, Vasily.
Hadil.
My name is Hadil, and I will be playing a half-elf warlock named Vargas, who, again, is the hot one of the group. Like, he's the hot one. This is very important that you all know that he's the hot one.
It is very important. Thank you. Thank you, Hadil. Ashley.
I'm Ashley Warren, and I am playing the Vistana bard, Konstantina Avshalomov.
Okay. And the first of our 2 guests, Hannah.
I'm Hannah Rose, and I'll be playing Pandora Zatane, an elf paladin and vampire hunter.
And last but not least, Jess.
I'm Jess, and I will be playing the mostly human warlock, Nikolai Locke, and I am the actual hot one.
Wow.
Rivalry, drama.
Drama already.
In a Ravenloft Wendy's parking lot right now. I just want to talk. For a minute.
You want to go, Vargas?
Yes.
Yeah.
Vargas just wants to talk. All right. This is not a typical campaign. We have a rotating cast, which means we have 4 anchor members, Lisa, Kayla, Hadil, and Ashley. And then every 4 episodes, we will switch off with our 2 rotating cast members, which means that we will have 2 different guests on episode 5. Whether that means that they were lost to the mists, lost to time, lost to gruesome Ravenloft death, it's really up for them to decide. I'm just the dungeon master. Similarly, this is not a typical Ravenloft campaign. We are a little far from Barovia, or any domains that you might think of off the top of your head. Instead, we are journeying to Kartakass, far to the south, to the land of lycanthropes and a dark lord with a penchant for hunting. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. And we will get started with Vasily. Vasily, your adventure begins with running through the forest, heart pounding and lanterns swaying. You can hear the men behind you, cursing and calling your names. There is a sound of a crossbow bolt whizzing past your ear, and the baying of hounds is scattering birds that are sleeping in the dead branches of twisted trees. For a moment, it is as though your mind leaves your body and you are watching 4 people race through the woods, fearful and frenzied. Mercy's hair is a tangled mass of white behind her, floating in the wind like a cloud. Constantina's riding boots are pounding like a drum under your ribcage, even though you can't see her leap a thorn bush in one fluid stride. Vargas's breath is labored but steady, and a flash of moonlight catches on the jeweled head of his cane sword as he rushes past. Vasily, your adventure begins with a hunt through the forest, and you are the prey.
Oh God, I like turned to Mercy and I'm like, I blame you. I blame you for this. And we're just like running as fast as
this time.
You picked up these people. You did this to me. I blame you. This is your fault. What's gonna happen next? Where are we supposed to go?
Constantina is innocent. We did the right thing. And we don't see Constantina because I believe when we last left off, she was invisible. So Mercy just kind of calls into the dark forest, Constantina, stay safe. And I run past Vargas and I say, Vargas, I think you have something you need to tell us. And then I tackle Vasily while I twin cast levitate and kind of spiral us up into the air, into the branches of the trees.
Okay, absolutely. Vargas, when Mercy comes to you, runs past you and says, we need to talk, essentially, and then poosh, with a burst of static, shoots up into the sky with her friend Vasily. What do you do?
There's no time to talk about this now. I continue running.
Mm-hmm.
Don't have levitate, that's for sure. Is there... How close are our chasers?
You got a head start on them, and one of you is invisible. So I'd say, given these woods that you are not familiar with, but neither are they, probably about 100 feet back. But they do have hounds, and they do have lanterns, neither of which do you have?
Let's see. I would like to use... Since they have hounds, I want to try and use minor illusion to throw them off the scent. So maybe, it looks like sound or image. So I would like to create a sound. If they're about 100 feet back, off to the opposite side of wherever it is that we are, like I want to send them in another direction. So I'll make sounds of running feet and cracking branches.
Okay, absolutely. Do I need to roll for like wisdom or intelligence or anything like that?
For this, no. It looks like it's just a cantrip.
Okay, that's fine. Go ahead and when you do cast that, give me a deception to hide your own footsteps from where you're running, to make those louder.
All right, let's see. That is going to be a 26.
Oh, yeah, you absolutely nail it. And you hear the baying of hounds as their paws off into the distance through these dead leaves and into the forest deeper, probably perpendicular to you. So instead of right behind you, now it is running away from you. And they run at a full lope. So they've caught wind of something, and they believe it is you, and they believe it with all of their little hound hearts. You can hear the search party begin to split off.
Okay. Do I have any sense of where Constantina might be?
Constantina, where are you?
I am with the group still. I want to. Do I know if casting a spell will get rid of the invisibility?
Are you asking me that as the DM, or are you asking
Yes.
me if Constantina knows?
Well, I don't know if Constantina would know that. So.
Vargas, it's your spell.
Says a creature you touch becomes invisible until the spell ends. Lasts about an hour. Anything the target is wearing is carrying invisible. Spell ends. Yep, if you cast a spell.
Okay, I don't think Constantina would know that. She is going to try to cast message at Mercy.
Okay.
And wants to just say, I'm sorry, I don't know what's happening, but maybe we should split up.
And Mercy, I feel like she's probably like holding hands with Vasily, and they're just like holding hands and spiraling through the air chaotically.
I feel like maybe Mercy intended that they hold hands, but Vasily is actually like clinging to her like a monkey and is like, I've asked you so many times not to do this. I don't like heights. And she's just trying to like keep that composure, but she's like death gripped onto you.
And then Mercy gets the message and looks down and sees that Constantina pops into view, no longer invisible. And she'll just go, oh no, and lets go of Vasily. And starts levitating back down to Constantina.
I guess Vasily just falls to the ground.
Oh no, Vasily is still up there.
Oh, good. Okay,
in the air. Yep.
She's just. Am I able to grab a branch or something?
Yeah. How close are you to a branch? This is your choice. I am giving you I'm giving you a choice as the DM, saying, "Hey, how close are you to a branch? Do you want to roll for this?"
To the perfect branch.
Yeah.
Perfect branch.
The perfect branch fitted to my hand.
Were you spiraling when she left? Did you just
Yeah, I feel like would you leaving kind of send me into like that anti-grav spiral or something?
Yeah, you probably start like floating in the opposite direction and like push off of you.
Give me athletics. We'll do a low DC on this.
Are you kidding me?
Tell me if it's under 10.
I can almost guarantee you. All right, let's see. It's under 10.
Good start.
You catch a branch, not with your hands. With your torso.
Oh, well, do I like wrap around it?
Yeah, it's very comedic. Nobody can see, but it is very comedic.
I'm very angry the whole time. Just very disgruntled.
I'm having a great time.
I've landed on the ground and I'm like, Constantina, are you okay? Did you hurt? Did you trip on anything? And I'm like kind of touching your hair and making sure it's like not fussed as Vasily like collides into a tree.
Well, I didn't realize that casting a spell would remove my cloak of invisibility. So I think that we should keep running until we can find a place to hide. And I'm assuming we see that they have started to go in another direction thanks to the deterrent. Okay,
absolutely.
But are they still within? I mean, if they can hear us talking, I feel like we're not. I guess we're technically in the woods, but we're not out of the woods yet.
Yeah, they were about 100 feet behind you. Unless you are talking at the volume that I am speaking at now, which I will give you the choice if you believe that is the case. I noticed you have an AC 11.
Rude.
If you are talking at this volume, they will notice. If you are whispering, they will not notice.
I think I'm talking in like a loud whisper because I'm a little panicked.
Then you're probably fine. There was a pretty high deception roll. I knocked my dice off the... I'm back.
Well, Vasily from up in the trees like, yeah, real glad Constantina's okay.
Dang, okay.
Well, Vasily's right. I didn't mean to drag you into whatever this is. I think maybe it's best for Mercy and I to go on our own way, and we can meet up with the rest of you.
Mercy quickly takes Constantina's hand and says, yes, that would be okay. That'd be fine.
Yeah.
Are you okay in the tree, Vasily?
Yeah, I'm perfectly fine up here for the rest of my life.
That's good. Where'd Vardis go?
Yeah, where is Vardis?
Oh, my stupid ass hiding. If that's what you wish, I wouldn't want to impose.
Oh, Vargas, you can go and get my accordion. I left it at the tavern, so this is perfect. So Mercy and I will go on to wherever there is a safe place to go, and we'll meet up with you later.
That sounds... I would be delighted to help you with your accordion. I will absolutely get it for you. Of course I will.
And I guess I'll just die.
Whatever you feel like doing. I'm not the boss of you, so.
Mercy walks to the base of the tree and just looks up and waves.
Vasily crosses her arms and is hanging over the branch with her arms crossed. She's very mad.
And we will meet back at the tavern. Where will we meet?
If I'm not dead by then.
Well, we don't have to leave until you come down from the tree, so...
No, I'm fine up here.
Okay.
Vasily, jump! I will let you down.
She kind of shifts her weight, so she just falls forward out of the branch, still with her arms crossed.
And Mercy, carefully floats her down to the ground.
Now, the rest of you do remember taking a carriage ride out here, and it was probably about 3 hours by carriage to get from the town to the farm. So if that's going to affect your plans at all...
Is kind of far. Are you okay walking 3 hours, Vargis?
Do I have a choice?
We could maybe find somewhere to hide, a cave, until the dogs go away.
Well, wait, what is your plan for me exactly? Am I supposed to go with this strange man we just met somewhere?
I don't know. This all happened very quickly.
Well, clearly you're abandoning me for this new friend of yours. So am I supposed to go with this strange man? Is he my new best friend?
Vasily, let's pause. Let's unpack these. You seem upset.
Ugh, I'm tired of unpacking things. And she just starts walking away. She just
Quick question. Hadil, what's that duration on minor illusion?
Minor illusion is 1 minute.
You have 30 seconds to decide before the sounds of people running through the forest disappears and those dogs catch you again.
Well, I will. I'll kind of assert myself.
Idea.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Vargis, go ahead.
Listen, they're only going to be running in the wrong direction for so long. I think we should attempt to hide. We're not going to make it back alive to the town. It'll take forever, and I don't want to run for 3 hours. That sounds awful.
Vargis is absolutely right. And Mercy raises her hand, and Vasily goes flying back up into the tree. And then first Mercy will grab Constantina and levitate herself up, and then she'll float back down and get Vargas and levitate him up so we can all hide in the branches.
Okay. So all 4 of you are now in the branches? Excellent. From how far would you say you are up?
20 feet.
20 feet? 20 feet is still enough. It's late autumn. Most of the leaves have shed from the trees, and you can see between these twisted, gnarled branches that you have been running almost parallel to the river. And not even half a mile beyond these trees is a regular river harbor, complete with docks and rowboats. You're muted.
Oh,
there you go.
All right. Does anyone know how to use the boats? Maybe we could go down the river.
I do not, but I agree with your plan.
Of course you do.
I mean, it can't be too terribly complicated. It's a boat.
Agreed.
Then Mercy, not everyone can levitate. Mercy will start by pushing off the tree and then just kind of floating between branches towards the river, and she'll turn around at the two people that she's just like left stranded 20 feet up in the air. And then instead she'll come back and she'll lower them so that we can kind of sneak to the river. And then I'll lower Vasily as well.
Okay, absolutely. Who wants to? I'm going to need a very quick marching order.
I'll go first. It's the chivalrous thing to do.
Vasily will go second.
Okay.
Mercy will take up the rear.
I'll be with near Mercy.
And Constantina beside Mercy. All right. So the person in front, I want you to make a survival check to navigate your way through the forest. I know that you do have night vision, so your DC is low.
Okay. So you said a survival check?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. 16.
Yeah, that's fine. You can navigate pretty easily. You don't get turned around or anything. It's only about half a mile. I would like everybody else in the group to make stealth checks, though, as your 30 seconds are up. You can hear the bang.
As well?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and have you make one as well.
21.
21?
Ooh,
15.
16. Ooh.
Whoop.
16.
Okay.
15.
Okay.
11.
Ooh, Constantina.
I know.
Bringing up the rear, and as you trail after Mercy, you try to avoid stepping on the backs of her skirts, which are starting to drag with all of the mud and muck and wetness, the dampness of this very chilly autumn night. And as you try to avoid stepping on your new friend's gown, you put your foot through a rotten log, and you take a couple extra moments to extricate yourself, but it's just enough to hear the distant growling and baying of hounds as they start to gain on you. You would say that the hounds have been left from their leashes, and they are running free just through the forest.
Oh no, everything terrible is
Magic!
happening.
Okay. You would say they're probably about 40 feet behind you.
Oh, that's close.
Is my foot stuck in the log, or can I continue?
You got it out of the log, but it,
okay.
It made sound and it slowed you down.
Okay. Okay, we need to get out of here as quickly as possible.
Mercy's gonna book it.
Okay. Is everybody else booking it, or?
Yes.
Okay, it's like everybody else is going to stand still in the forest. All right. Run. And as you're bursting through the forest, you're leaping over underbrush, and you're just scattering all of these fireflies and birds just like erupt in your wake as you burst through the forest wall, and you see that this dock, this sort of ramshackle dock of old watery wood, and there's a smell of it's strange to think that there's a smell of brine in a freshwater river, but you can see these boats just sort of drifting with just little weathered ropes to them, and you see two figures beside one of the rowboats, and you see an enormous wall of mist on the other side of the river. Now, one of these figures beside one of the rowboats, and they're probably about 150 feet ahead of you as you burst at full speed through this forest, is clad completely in armor, and what does Pandora see when Vargas bursts through the forest?
What does Pandora see?
Mm-hmm. I want a description of Vargas first. Yeah.
Got it.
Adil.
Oh, I thought she was going to describe me, and I'm like, I don't know if she's ever seen me, but I'm
Nope.
interested in the show.
No. Hadil, what does Pandora see Hadil when Vargas bursts through this forest? No, you're fine.
I'd like to imagine that, like, even though Vargas is beating cheeks, he's still trying to, like, have some sort of composure about it. So as he, like, bursts through, you see his hair that's normally tied in, like, a silk ribbon. Some of it has, like, fallen in front of his face. His very fine clothes are, like, covered in mud and leaves, and he hasn't seemed to notice yet. And he is, like, wild-eyed with, like, fear and trepidation, and he is, like, kind of, like, looking over his shoulder, but not for his companions. He just doesn't want to be caught.
Fair. And after Vargas, Vasily bursts through the forest. And what does, Kayla, what does Pandora see when Vasily bursts through the forest after Vargas?
At first glance, probably looks like a normal human woman, but then you see that there's kind of these, like, scraggly, fungal-looking horns and different markings and ridges on her face, and you can see as she looks up that she has just solid black eyes, so you can kind of pick up that she's a tiefling. She's got very long black hair, and she's wearing all black and looks pretty well kept, but is also very scraggly from running through the forest. And she also looks very angry, and she keeps, like, side glancing angrily at the Vistani woman that possibly might be coming out next.
Okay. There are a couple of moments, and then Mercy bursts out after.
Oh.
What does Mercy look like? What does Pandora
Mercy probably trips forward out of the edge of the forest. And at first it looks like maybe there's a ghost. She is, like, ghostly white with white hair that's, I guess, in a mess now, apparently, TK. And she has this large horn singular horn coming out of her forehead that arches back, sort of like a crescent moon or a scythe. And she is wearing all scarlet red, like blood on snow, except for her right hand that has this silver metal gauntlet on it. And as soon as she sees you, she sort of immediately stops and kind of holds out her hands to sort of hold back Vasily. I maybe, like, ran a little bit in front of you. And Constantina, who she's expecting to burst out of the forest next.
Constantina does in fact burst out of this forest next, with dogs not too far behind her as they have a faster run speed. And it is with this howling on her heels that you see this final person burst forward. Constantina, what does Pandora see?
So she sees a woman with very thick, kind of unruly hair that's bound into a braid. There's lots of twigs and forest debris, like, stuck in it. She wears a jacket that has like asymmetrical buttons on it, and trousers and boots that go up to her knee. And she has a bunch of different color scarves tied around her waist. And her clothes at first look nice and put together, but they're kind of, some of the hems are kind of starting to fray. And then she has an instrument case that's tightly strapped to her back. And she's very wide-eyed and looking very frightened at the moment as she looks over her shoulder.
Okay. And the four of you burst out of the forest lining, and you're about 150 feet away from this rowboat, where a woman in armor and a sort of hunched crone are standing side by side. Pandora, how long have you been waiting beside the river?
I've been waiting about 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm. And what are you doing there with that crone?
I am talking with her, trying to get information on people like this are the best informants. Sometimes they see everything, but no one takes notice of them. So I'm here trying to meet a contact and hunt down a vampire.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to know what rumors are going on. in this area.
Yeah. And she has been telling you all manners of rumors.
Well, my granddaughter will be here soon to lead you across the mists, but I haven't heard if any vampires in these parts. Probably further south.
And as they burst from the forest, her cloudy eyes will sort of trail along the ground, and
there's my granddaughter now.
And I look at these newcomers with surprise and not a little bit of trepidation. These haggard or tattered people running out of the forest, possibly being hunted by something.
Rude.
Yeah, you can in fact hear the baying of hounds further in the forest.
Let's see. I would like to use my divine sense to detect good and evil, so that as they approach, I can tell if they are fiends or undead.
Okay. Yeah. Do they need to roll anything for that, or is that instantaneous?
It's just within 60 feet, so they're not quite there yet.
Okay. All right.
But I'll prepare to use that.
Yeah, absolutely. Hold it for when they get within 60 feet of you, and the little Vistani crone will, with trembling hands upon her walking stick, she will beckon to the four of you.
Come, we don't have much time.
Which one's your granddaughter?
The Vistani.
Do I recognize this woman?
Make me a perception check. She's pretty far away, so.
Okay.
Do you have night vision?
Nope.
Ooh, that's gonna be high.
Yep.
What'd you get there?
Well, I rolled pretty bad. 9.
She's Vistani. She could be any Vistani old woman.
Okay. Well, that's good.
Yeah, you sense that she's trying to call you away from the forest.
Okay.
And that she's Vistani. She's not your clan.
Okay. Interesting. So I'm running toward her.
Okay. How about everyone else?
Constantina probably hits my arm that I was holding out as she runs forward. But we also hear the dogs are 40 feet away, you said.
Oh,
so
yeah, they were 40 feet behind Constantina. So.
Yeah, they're closer. Yeah, I'm going to also run towards them.
I'd say you have one round to...
Yeah, I'm running. I'm going to use my action to dash.
Yeah, make it. Okay, as soon as she gets within 60 feet with that dash, you pick up the smell of sulfur. It's definitely the hells, and she shimmers with a red glow that seems to burn her movements into your mind. It's almost as though she's moving in sort of a slow motion as your divine sense zeroes in on this infernal tiefling.
But not undead. So.
But not undead.
You're being hunted. By whom?
We don't know. As the people in the village, they had spiders living in their heads. I know this sounds crazy. The old spider living in the head story again, but we need to get to the boats and there's not much time. There are dogs following us.
All right. Get in the boat. And Pandora is going to walk forward to the end of the dock and unsheath her sword.
Okay.
Oh.
What about the rest of you?
I was getting in that boat.
As Vargas passes you to get into the boat, you don't sense anything undead or fiendish about him. There's a sort of a shimmer in the air when he passes you by that lingers and sends goosebumps up your arms, but that could mean anything. It's not undead. It's not fiendish. It is
Just
otherworldly.
Is everyone getting in the boat?
Vasily standing there with her arms crossed, like, I guess this is the end for me because I just can't do this anymore.
Mercy is going to walk up to Vasily, run back to Vasily, and just say, "What are you doing? We don't have much time."
Oh, I didn't think you cared anymore.
You don't think I care?
No.
I think Levitate this has all happened really fast, so I think Levitate is still going. I'm gonna levitate Vasily and just push her towards the boat.
Yeah, she's just stiff with her arms crossed, so she probably just like flips.
She's like a grumpy balloon.
Yeah, I'm like dragging her over to the boat and just grumbling, "Since I don't care," and I just like drop you back into the boat.
When Vasily passes you, Pandora, there's like a sense, like a gnawing, hungry hole in the pit of your stomach. Her aura is black and it is chaotic. It is all-consuming. This is also a tiefling, but not the orderly, lawful, infernal tiefling. She is an abyssal tiefling, but not undead.
If it ain't undead, Pandora don't care.
Yeah, she's like us.
This is fine.
This is fine. This is probably fine.
She's like, "Oh, they're having a lover's quarrel. That's so cute."
It's very sweet. Constantina?
I am booking it for the boat, but I want to like pat the old crone on the shoulder and say, "Thank you. It is good to see another Vistana."
One large hunting dog bursts from the foliage, Pandora. I'm going to give you one swing at it as Constantina is talking to the crone, so go ahead and roll me a d20.
All right, Pandora is carrying a long sword that shimmers just a little bit with the light reflecting off the water.
Absolutely.
And I rolled a nat 1.
Oh, she looked so impressive.
It looked really cool.
Can while she's like readying her sword, am I able to like reach out to Constantina, like to like maybe if I'm still within reach, like pull her away from the dog? Am I able to do that?
Give me athletics.
Okay.
You can use athletics or strength for either strength or reflexes.
16.
Yeah. You can do that.
I will
the dog yeah.
Like grab her and like bodily pull her in to the boat that I'm in.
So you bodily pull her. The dog leaps for Pandora's throat. Pandora is unable to get her sword into or across the dog, and the dog is unable to find purchase for its fangs in Pandora because of her heavy armor. So they just bounce off of each other and start to sort of square up, and like the dog is now circling you, and there are a few more dogs like coming out of the forest edge. Constantina, the crone, sets her gnarled hand on your shoulder, and for a moment you get this second of recognition, and she says, "I am so sorry. I didn't want it to be you." And she starts to unravel the rope on the boat. Pandora, she's doing it pretty slowly. With your warrior's instinct, you can hear the boat starting to rock with people in it. Would you rather fight the dog, or would you rather get in the boat?
Oh, I'll get in the boat. No, also they are bad doggos. They just tried to bite me.
Yeah, bad doggos.
Yeah, the dog just kind of bounced off me, and Pandora puts her arm up and shoves it away. And I'm gonna run for the boat. So I guess the dog gets an AOO.
Yeah, sure. I'll let it do that. Yeah, it swipes at you with an 8.
Yeah.
Doesn't do anything. I'm gonna say you like almost elbow drop this dog, and so she's unraveling the last knot of this rope, and she puts both hands on the side of the boat. She pushes it, and she tells Constantina, "Light the lantern," and the rowboat pushes away from the dock as these dogs descend upon her.
We left the lady on the shore.
Vargas is just like,
oops.
I thought she was getting in.
I did too. Does it look like there's any hope?
She's a very old woman, and there's about 4 or 5 of those dogs, so I think even if you fought them off, like, I'm gonna tell you right now, if you fight them off, she's gone.
Ooh. Okay.
Mercy kind of shrieks and clings to Vasily.
Vasily just is still just with her arms crossed, and she just won't look at Mercy. She's just looking the other way.
Would probably be a waste to cast like speak to dead and be like, hey, are you mad at us for this?
Are you okay?
Are you okay? Is there got any family I can
Anyone we can notify?
Yeah. Please don't haunt this dock, thanks.
Okay, so the 5 of you are rocking back and forth in a rowboat that is slowly but steadily drifting towards this wall of mists. Now, every single one of you has been in Ravenloft long enough to know what happens when you go into the mists.
I mean, in Vargas's opinion, he's seen what happened to that lady with the dogs. What's a little mist?
Pandora is not unfamiliar with the mists.
Mm-hmm. And Pandora, the old woman did give you the impression that Constantina could help you cross these mists.
Right. Pandora looks at the group. Well, you're an interesting lot. And TK, would you like me to describe Pandora?
Yes, absolutely. Okay, yes. Describe the woman that is sitting in the boat with them.
Yeah, so Pandora has been mentioned. She is wearing heavy plate armor, but she moves with ease, and normally she wields her longsword quite well, but maybe not this time. She is tall and has this face with sunken eyes and pointed nose, bright red hair. That's the only really colorful thing about her. She's very pale and has a scar that crosses her lip across her jawline. She says, well, you're an interesting lot. Can you get us across?
Vasily kind of mocks her under her breath. She's like, you're an interesting lot. Just continues to look over to the side.
Considering like this woman has like a huge sword, can I like just give Vasily like one of these, like just like a
be cool.
Mercy is kind of leaning down at the back of the boat that's facing the shore and is like doing a little prayer, and like under her breath you hear her saying things like so that death may spare her and that she might not rise again, and just praying that death keeps this woman and she doesn't come back to haunt us.
Constantina, would you like to try and get the boat through the mists, or?
Yes. I was also going to ask, does the boat have oars or anything to steer, or are we just like letting it
It
go?
does have oars.
Okay. I take an oar and I want to steer us as quickly as possible toward the mist.
Okay. And the boat rights itself, and it begins to dive and cleanly cut towards that mist through the water, and you can hear the distant barking of those dogs along the river's edge, and angry men as they wave their torches and even fire a couple of shots from their crossbows into the water. Futilely, you're already out of their reach.
I would like to make a rude gesture.
Absolutely. We'll go ahead and say that's a nat 20, so go ahead.
Like or like a jerk off motion is like crossbow and it misses. I'm just like
it's like the corner of Vasily's mouth quirks up into like an approving smile.
Way to waste a crossbow bolt, loser.
I shot LeBron. I mean fantasy LeBron.
Yeah. Fantasy who taught you how to shoot, plebeian? God. Okay, Constantina, how do you get across the mist?
So I've only traveled to the mist by myself. And I just know that I feel a sense of peace as I pass through it. And I just kind of step into it and I let it absorb me. But truthfully, I have no idea how it works for non-Vistana. But I don't think it occurs to me that something bad would happen to them.
Now, many clans of Vistani have different ways of passing through the mist. They all have different talents. There are some of them even that courier passengers through the mists. And you know that some of them have potions, some of them have torches, some of them have magical vardos, and some of them have lanterns that you...
Yes. I do not know if I possess a lantern, but
there is a lantern that is hanging on the boat.
Oh, okay, good. I was like,
but
I
will need you to do an Arcana check to know the power word, or a history check, as it will be a Vistani word.
Okay. Let's see, history. It's the same, I guess. 16.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You do know the power word. It comes to you, in a way that is almost like a memory. When you see that lantern. So tell me what the ritual is to light that lantern and get you across the mists.
So let's see. I take out my candle. Oh, I don't have any fire making abilities. Mercy, can you make fire?
I can.
Will you light my candle?
Come on, baby.
Yes, and like Mercy's like trying a few times to prestidigitate a tiny flame and messes up a couple times and like starts sweating. And then she makes like a teeny flame that eventually draws up the wax and grows.
And with the candle, I open the little, I'm assuming it's like a lantern with a little candle inside of it.
Oh yeah.
So I open it and I light the wick and I shut the door. And in my clan, we pass through the mist by stating our purpose, by stating intention. So I say that I want to find a place of safety for me and my friends. And then I'm hoping that will
when you you whisper into this lantern, you whisper this prayer, this hope, this strange dream for a young Vistana, isn't it, to feel safety and security. What an interesting wish. But it's definitely one that's been planted in your heart since childhood. And when you whisper this into the lantern, there is a song in your head. And this song at first is a dull note that hums at the back of your brain, and then the notes arch and a crescendo begins, beckoning you into those mists. And what was a lilting lullaby has become frantic and frenetic, and the lantern in your hands trembles with the force as your body is twisting, forcing this circle of magical light to illuminate the western side of this boat. And this entire boat follows your motion without even touching those oars, and something sings inside of you. This is the way. This is the way. Come home. Come home.
Cool.
I think my eyes are closed at this point, so I am going to I feel that effect, and I'm going to let it guide me as I continue to use the oars toward the mist.
And as you are letting this lantern lead you through the mists, this river starts to churn and it boils beneath this wooden rowboat, and it starts to toss it like a toy through these soupy mists. And Mercy, you can smell the crackle of electricity in the air as your silver gauntlet starts vibrating violently, as though it's going to shake itself to pieces.
Oh no.
And Pandora, your armor begins to creak and buckle audibly as these mists start to press on the boat like a living creature, and tendrils snake under your arms, and each of you is buffeted by the wind. And there is something strange happening in your brain, Vasily. Were you born in Darkon?
I thought I was.
You thought you were, but were you born in Darkon?
She's just kind of thinking very, very hard, and she can't remember anymore. Everything that seemed familiar doesn't.
And your memories begin to return to you in this flash of movement, in this blooming aurora that surrounds you, these festival of lights that materialize in the mist that's rolling over this river's surface. And these figures are dancing in a circle around the rowboat. And the rush chanting is punctuated by the roar of thunder. A blurred body is racing across the waves, and it halts on these impossibly long, spindly legs. And it turns towards you with a silver light that glows in its left eye. Its mouth opens so wide, so impossibly wide, so full of darkness, and it screeches as lightning strikes, loud enough to shake your skull, and vanishes before your eyes.
Do we all see this, or just...
Did
Just-
we all see that?
Just Vasily, as her
Oh, thank God, 'cause
memories...
I would have had a
Yeah.
goddamn fit.
No,
Yeah.
no, just Vasily, as her memories begin to return to you. Now you see something else, don't you, Vargas?
I'll see. I don't see shit.
I don't see shit.
Are you sure? Because I feel like there's a warm pinprick of lamp oil, isn't there, that drifts in on the breeze. And there's this smell of wood gas that's overwhelming. But you're feeling a regular chill in your arm that's leaving through your fingertips. And suddenly you are overwhelmed with the sensation of fire in your hand. And it licks up your arm and it swallows you to the shoulder. And you feel that heat clawing at your face, and it drags its fingers down your cheeks. And then it's gone.
I'll like put my, so I wear a glove on one hand, like a nice leather riding glove on one hand.
Mhm.
I'll, like covertly, stick my like ungloved hand like up my sleeve just a little.
Okay.
Will visibly sweat.
Now, Constantina, you don't hear. Well, you do hear, but you don't see or feel anything. Instead, this song becomes the sound of breaking glass. And it becomes the sound of hushed whispers and raised voices in a fever pitch. And there's a taste of spiced wine in your mouth, and it sets your teeth swimming, and suddenly you feel your vision fade, and your body is sinking into the warm bed of the mists. And I need Mercy to make me an athletics check to catch Constantina as she lurches forward and nearly falls in the water.
Don't feel me now.
Of course she does.
Rolled a 4, so I got a 3.
Okay. Pandora, would you like to try?
Yeah. An athletics check, you said?
Yep.
That's a 23.
Oh, yeah. As Mercy reaches forward to catch Constantina, it is Pandora's sure arm that catches Constantina. She sags forward, and this boat that has been lurching back and forth on this river starts to spin and 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 spin. And you can all feel yourselves tossing and turning on these waves and nearly falling out of this boat until you are not in mists anymore. Now it's just a calm, quiet river that is lapping against the edge of a moonlit bank. No dock. No Darkon.
Mercy leans over the edge of the boat and starts retching.
Fair. Vomiting is a free action, so if anybody would like to do that.
Vargas is a sympathy puker, but Hadil is a sympathy puker, so he'll just like take a silk kerchief out and just like cough into it to try and keep himself from puking in a very ungentlemanly like fashion.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Hadil is sweating. This is scary.
Yeah.
No, you guys are doing great. We're not even to any scary parts.
What?
Oh, great.
We only had someone eaten by dogs. It's not scary yet.
I mean, so did the beginning of Willow, which I shamelessly ripped off for this, so...
I need to watch that again, so I'm saying.
Constantina is kind of laid across Pandora's lap, and Pandora is like tapping her face to wake her up.
I'm gonna pretend to be out for like another second longer.
Okay.
Just because it's kind of nice. And then
it's nice to feel supported.
Yeah, I don't think that Constantina has regularly felt kind of cared for in this way. Constantina is exhausted. I sit up wearily.
Okay.
You fainted.
Well, that was exciting. I've never done that before.
So pure.
You're having fun. This is terrible.
Well, where are we? I mean, I know that we went through the mist, but I usually don't know where I end up on the other side.
Do you do this often?
Well, that's how Vistana travel across the demi-plane, so it's not, a new development, but I usually just kind of let it take me where it needs to take me.
Well, I just mean, do you see awful, scary things in the water that open their mouths impossibly wide and then things are awful? Does that happen to you all the time? Because I don't know if we can hang out anymore.
Was there a creature in the water?
What are you talking about, Vasily?
Yeah, what creature?
I definitely saw something.
I think we would have all seen it. It's a quite small boat.
What are you trying to say?
Well, did you hear the music or taste the wine? I mean, no?
No.
Sick.
I'd like to make a perception check to make sure there are no monsters in the water.
So glad Pandora's with us.
I know.
Yeah. Good job, Pandora. Yeah, make a perception check. Actually,
Pandora
what's everybody's
got a total of
passive
7.
perception?
Okay, that's better. My passive perception is 14.
Okay. Okay, what's everybody's real quick?
10.
10?
13.
You said passive
I'm
perception?
sorry, who is 13?
Oh, sorry, Constantina.
11.
13, Vargas, 11, Vasily,
12.
and Jess, just real quick, what's Nikolai's?
12.
No reason.
Oh, no. I'm not even here yet.
Same as me.
Twins!
All right. Pandora, your passive perception is enough to notice that there is not really anything in the water. A couple of silver glinting fish. The water's getting really shallow, though, and it's starting to gently waft you to shore. There's gravel at the bottom, and the water is clean and clear, unlike where you just left.
I'm gonna grab one of the oars and try to stick it in the gravel and pull us up onto the bank.
Oh yeah, you do that easily. It takes no effort.
So beefy.
Strunk girl. Strunk girl.
That's Pandora, strong girl.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, you pull up onto the banks very easily. It's a full moon. It's pretty easy to see everything, what with the full moon. The lantern has been extinguished though, and the candle just burned down to a nub.
Okay. I pocket the rest of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
What do we see on the shore here?
As you step onto the shoreline, you see large boulders. This seems to be some manner of lake. There's a lot of trees. Unlike the late autumn where you left, this seems like maybe early summer here. All of the trees are full with green leaves. There are little flowers that dot the paths. It's beautiful. It's verdant. It is not where you left. You have passed successfully through the mists.
Mercy walks up to Vasily, who was rambling about something that no one else saw. She's worried about her friend. So she walks up to Vasily and like leans her forehead with her horn against your forehead, like really close in your personal space. And she says, "It's okay. Let me in." And she casts detect thoughts on you to try to see if she can see what you saw.
Well, I will say the first thing that you're hit with is Vasily really being uncomfortable with your puke breath because you just got done puking.
I did.
This is the real horror.
Ravenloft!
And then from there, I don't know, would that allow Mercy to see what I had seen?
Yeah, absolutely. If that is in your surface thoughts, then...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like running through my mind over and over. It's just like the face with the mouth opening and possibly wide over and over.
And with all of that, you also get the sense of recognition. These are not hallucinations. These are memories.
Mercy will just abruptly let go of Vasily and stumble back. And just let everybody know it's true. She saw something. And she miss memories, the past perhaps. And do I have minor illusion? I don't. I'll just describe them to everybody. Would I have an idea of what this terrifying creature is?
Yeah, make me an Arcana check. There's a chance. You went to Arcane College, so.
Fresh out of school, I didn't pay attention. 14.
It just seems like some manner of terrible experiment.
Mercy's just shook.
Shooketh.
Staying away from Vasily a little bit.
Yeah.
Is being shook a free action?
That's a reaction.
My bonus action to be shook.
Reaction. Okay. Let me just check something real super quick. Hey, Jess, Nikolai, you want to roll a stealth for me? Just send it to me. Send it to me in secret.
Also, in case anybody missed on the really great joke that I told earlier, LeBron James. It's being award.
Okay. So, the group of you, the boat has come to shore. What would you like to do? The land is very level here. There's no real rises. It's mostly densely populated forest. It seems that you've come across like a meadow clearing. So,
let me see. Can I like listen for like dogs just in case?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm a paranoid boy.
If you would like to do perception, absolutely do that.
Yes, I would. It don't matter. It's a 1.
Don't worry about it.
You do not hear any dogs.
Only the echoes of dogs inside your own mind.
Yeah, no, I ain't hear shit. But
you
I
hear
like this
only
song.
your paranoia.
I feel like Vasily would be pretty quick to get away from the water. She'd be cool about it and just try to play it off like she's just mad, but she like arms crossed gets out of the boat and gets on the land a little quickly.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. What about the rest of you?
I want to follow Vasily.
Okay.
To get off the boat, and
Get off the boat as well.
All right.
I cast message at Vasily. Are you okay? Was that traumatic?
I'm fine. I'll be fine.
Can I insight check?
Yeah, you can absolutely insight check. Vasily, would you like to use persuasion or deception?
Deception.
Okay.
So do I counter check
Yes.
that? All right.
25.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm very insightful.
Yeah, you don't have to tell me what you got, Vasily. You only have to tell me what she learns.
She learns that Vasily is very angry with a tinge of being frightened. Just a tinge.
I'm sorry, truly.
Yeah, whatever. And she just like walks further onto the land.
That's fine. I let her.
Okay. Pandora?
Does Pandora know where she's supposed to meet her contact? Just that there is a contact somewhere around here?
You know that you have a contact waiting for you in Harmonia if you are where you are supposed to be.
I'd like to make a survival check to figure out which way Harmonia is.
Yeah, so you're basically trying to find a city?
I mean, yeah, like we're on this riverbank.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We just went through the mist and ended up in a totally different season.
Oh yeah,
absolutely. I have no idea which way north is yet.
Okay, so you're basically trying to find some semblance of civilization that will lead you to like a village or somewhere that can tell you where you are. Yeah, sure. Give me a survival check. Absolutely.
That's a 19.
Oh yeah. What you see is a sort of worn hunting trail, and there's no carts. There are no wagons. There's not even horse tracks in it, but it looks like a footpath that has been following game trails, and that is the only path that you can see. So there you go with your beautiful elven eyes.
So Pandora turns to the group and she says, "I'm Pandora. I'm here to hunt vampires. And none of you seem like vampires to me. So if you wish to travel together, I'm headed to Harmonia."
What is Harmonia?
It's a city here. I've never been.
I would very much like to go to Harmonia with you. And I also show you my teeth so you can see that I'm not a vampire.
Vasily, Constantina has nice teeth.
Thank you. Pandora's blushing just a little bit.
Constantina, when you hear the word Pandora, there's like a bell that sounds inside of your chest, and like you can feel like this resounding aura like come out of you. It's like a pulse through you that says, "Yes, come home."
Oh. Well, great. I think we are where we are supposed to be. I just say out of nowhere because no one knows what just happened. Yes, this is all right, going according to plan.
Well, you seem to know where we are, and you seem to know what you're doing, and we are totally lost. So we should follow her. Right, Vasily?
Sure. We have got nothing better to do. I literally don't know where I am right now. Don't know who I am, where I came from, what that thing was. So why not?
You two are so cute.
They are very cute.
What does that mean? And then I just walk over to Vargas. I saw something in the woods. There was a lady behind you, a ghost. Is there something you've not told us?
Sorry, who you're talking to?
Vargas.
I would like to deny everything. I'd like to roll deception to deny any sort of ghost.
Mercy, would you like to roll insight or would you like to take it at face value? I already see that you are rolling your dice. So
I would like to try. It's okay, I believe you.
I'm gonna say I rolled an 18 and my deception is plus 10.
Damn.
I forgot.
It's so high.
I do sometimes just see ghosts. It must have not been related to you. I apologize for the accusation.
Vargas would like to put his hand on Mercy's shoulder, his gloved, clean hand on her shoulder, and be like, I thank you for looking out for me. It's a new sensation. You're incredibly kind. And he'll lower his voice, like, just so, and like it's like probably uncomfortably close, but it's like,
I have vomit breath.
oh no, I didn't even notice.
Oh,
Like wink.
So romantic.
Yeah, he'll go like, if I can share a secret with you. I deal in ghosts, but I'm a little bit afraid of ghosts, so I appreciate you watching my back.
oh, well, if you're afraid of ghosts, it's totally okay hanging out with us. No ghosts related to us or following us. It is fine.
Even if 100 ghosts could be following us, I know I would be perfectly safe in your hands.
Is 100 the limit?
He'll go, for you, any amount is fine.
Mercy takes out like a little notebook and like I don't know.
Infinity ghosts, like,
okay.
thumbs up emoji draw.
Yeah.
The bottom of it is just like Mercy Hart Vargas forever. Mercy Blackstone. Oh, Mercy Blackstone is a dope name.
That is pretty dope.
That's a good name.
I guess we have to get married now.
It is a good
You
name.
have to.
Ravenloft wedding. That's what people tune in for.
Okay, so the group of you.
Beetlejuice wedding.
Oh my god. I got really excited about that. Sorry.
I'm actually pretty excited about that too now. I'm like, okay, whatever this game was about, it's about that wedding now. Okay, so are you traveling to Harmonia? Are you following the game trail?
Yeah.
Okay, let me just scroll down in the notes real quick.
Cool.
I'm just kidding.
You just do that. 1
I'm kidding. I already have it on screen. No. So as you are traveling through these woods, now it's very brightly lit until you get into the woods where the density of the leaves kind of soaks up most of that moonlight. Are you lighting torches, lanterns, candle hats?
I'm all out of candle right now, guys.
I have night vision.
I think only one of you doesn't have night vision.
Mercy will use her prestidigitation to light a torch.
Okay.
And I shall hand it to Constantina.
And I would love to also know marching order. No reason.
I mean, clearly the lady with the huge sword should lead.
Yeah, Pandora's fine marching down
Okay.
the road, and she has dark vision.
I'm
You're kind of eyeing the torch.
No.
Who's number 2?
I will be, because I'm really eager to get to Harmonia.
Oh, excellent. Who's number 3?
What's that mean? Why'd they say it like that?
What?
Harmonia.
Excellent.
Oh, no, it is excellent.
Scared of everything.
No, don't be scared. Who's 3rd?
I think Vargas raised.
Vargas.
Oh, Vargas? Okay, that's one of my favorite numbers. Okay, who's number 4?
You like that number?
I'll be number 4. I
And then
will.
I'll be at the back, but also kind of trying to walk and talk with Vasily.
Awesome.
I'm just asking her questions like,
Okay.
About what her former life could have been.
Awesome. So we have like a little AC sandwich. I love it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I should
3
probably pay
11s
attention to
in the
that.
middle. No, you're doing great. Finish your knitting, dear.
I'm like picking, like, your storytelling has me chewing all of my nails off, so
No.
thank you.
No, don't be sad.
It's just that
Okay.
good.
So as you're walking through this forest and you can hear, it's very lively. It's very unlike where you just left, drifting out in Darkon, where almost all of the animals had pretty much vacated this premises except for a couple of ravens, because of the Red Widows that had taken over the town. Now, as you walk through these forests, you can hear weasels in the undergrowth, you can hear all manner of rodents, songbirds are sort of sleepily just chirping in the trees, and you can even hear a couple of the bushes sort of rustle with the sound of deer nearby. This is apparently a very lively hunting trail. And it doesn't take very long for you to get from the game trail to what is a more proper road. And this road is less gravel, more hard-packed earth, and there are wagon ruts with high grass between the wheel ruts in them. But you can tell that it is well-traveled. You can tell that the earth is very packed from the feet. There's not a lot where it comes to horses here. I would like everybody to go ahead and give me perception, except for Pandora, since everybody else has the lower perception.
I got so good.
What did I?
I got 20.
Okay.
Ooh, I got a 21.
19.
Okay.
Whatever, Kayla.
I did.
7.
Okay, Constantina. Well, you do have human eyes, and that makes sense.
You are a lesser being.
No, I didn't mean it
Okay.
like, okay, look.
I've been through a lot this evening, okay?
Yeah, you've had a hard day. So, Mercy, Vasily, Vargas, Pandora, all of you do notice that there are horses that are tethered along the main road. And that there are a couple packs slung over it. And Vasily and Mercy, you have the sort of tiefling infravision, and you can see between those trees that there is a campsite set out. And that is what you see. There are probably 3 or 4 tents, and a campfire that has burnt out. You can see the heat from the embers between the trees.
What time of day is it?
It's nighttime.
Nighttime? Okay.
Clear sky. You can see the moon overhead. You can see tons of stars in constellation patterns that you don't quite recognize.
Perhaps they are sleeping?
I would like to say that while we were walking, Vasily probably took the gauntlet from Mercy and has been tinkering with it, because it went a little haywire on the boat, didn't it?
It was weird.
Yeah.
It sparked.
So she's like tinkering with it and sees this and hands it back to Mercy, and just kind of looks around like, should we go see what this is about?
It is late. We just had a whole sing. We were running. Maybe they would let us camp with them.
Am I able to do any sort of like visual inspection of the horse to see what kind of person would have this? Like if they're like a wealthier person, or like more, I don't know, like a more of a bare bones traveler, like somebody of importance. Like, are the horses, they have packs on them, are they like nice leather? Are they just like rickety canvas?
Yeah. Give me like a history or insight will do. Ooh.
I will go with the cool. History is going to be a -1, so ya boy rolled a 2.
What'd you get for insight?
Well, I rolled a 3 and it's +1, so 4.
4 is enough to tell you that it is a horse.
Cool.
And that
I'm gonna look back to the group.
Yeah.
Horses.
They can afford a horse. You could determine that.
Yeah.
Yes, they have a horse. The saddle has been taken off of it.
Okay.
That is it.
Mercy feels like we're being creepy, just like staring at their camp. So she's gonna call out, "Hello,
Nikolai. You're awake, aren't you? And you can see these 5 people staring at your camp.
Yes, I can see that.
But they can't see you, can they?
No, I rolled pretty high.
What have you been doing, Nikolai?
Nikolai has been out with some of his traveling buds, just hunting, doing normal human things.
Why does that sound suspicious?
Normal human.
It doesn't.
Fellow humans.
How do you do, fellow kids?
And where are you now, Nikolai?
Nikolai is just out of their line of sight, like hastily throwing his clothes on, sort of like in the nearby bushes as he sees people like coming into the camp area.
Not necessary.
That's not necessary. We didn't ask you to do that.
Okay. And you see them and hear them long before they call out to you. What do they see? Do you answer them?
Yeah, once they call out, Nikolai will step through into their line of sight. And they see a really good-looking fella. He's got dark black hair tied back sort of in a low ponytail. He's got a goatee, and he's smiling at you.
Oh.
We are smiling back.
Is this a dating sim? Did I...
Okay, I guess Constantina and Mercy are.
Did I unknowingly put together a dating sim?
I think you did a Hot Topic dating. Good job, TK. You did
I'm
it.
cool with it. Is it Hot Topic Bachelor? Okay.
Greetings, travelers.
Hello.
Bring you to the woods.
Well, my name is Mercy Albrecht. And this might sound strange, but where are we?
We are in the forest of... I don't know if I know this, actually. It's not in my notes.
You're in Kartakass. You know that you're in Kartakass.
We are in Kartakass.
Is that where Harmonia is? I turn to Pandora.
Yes? Is that where Harmonia is?
Yes.
Cool.
Nikolai would know that, yeah. Nikolai is from Harmonia. Whether or not Nikolai chooses to tell you that.
I'm familiar with Harmonia. What business do you have there?
I'm meeting a contact of mine. And I would like to use my divine sense again, because this boy is very handsome.
He's gotta be okay.
You did use it for me. I'm like, wait a minute. I didn't find sense, but you did. You did it on me first, so it's fine. Yeah, I guess.
Nikolai, how close are you to Pandora?
If they're in the campground, pretty close, because it's not a huge camp area, so probably like 20 feet.
How does Nikolai act when he introduces himself to this group?
He's pretty friendly. He tries to just be a bit of a gentleman, but he's also a little bit wary of strangers who happened upon his camp at night.
Mm-hmm.
Fair.
Okay. And as he gets close enough for you to examine, Pandora, he smells like the woods, but there's no strange aura. There does seem to be a strange aura coming from his tent, but other than that, no. There's like the smallest whiff of sulfur. Maybe he has come into contact with a devil at some point. Who knows? But he himself, not fiendish, not undead, not celestial.
And Pandora announces, well, he's not a vampire.
He's not a vampire.
Of course I'm not a vampire.
I'm going to start telling you that they're not vampires and tell you nothing else. It's not a vampire, but he is Asmodeus.
No big deal, just straw. So
yeah, he smells like the woods and
in
cut
like
grass
in like a he's been camping and has it bathed way, or in like a good way?
In like he smells like a bonfire, and I don't know.
Like
what does he smell like, Nikolai? What does he smell like? Does he smell like an outdoors model?
Yeah.
Yes. Smells like a boyfriend candle.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
He smells like a Dick's Sporting Goods catalog model.
Oh no, accidental sponsorship.
Look, we're not sponsored by Dick's Sporting Goods, but if y'all want to do that,
I need some new hiking stuff. Please email me, Dick's Sporting Goods.
REI.
Desperate. That shit is
Offensive.
Okay, so you meet Nikolai. Nikolai, these strangers are in your camp. They want to go to Harmonia. You know, having been to Harmonia, that the gates are closed. And that it's about 6 hours walk from where you are.
Well, you want to go to Harmonia, but it's nighttime. I would recommend getting some rest first and trying in the morning. I don't know that you'll be able to get in, but I can point you in the right direction.
Why wouldn't we be able to get in?
I mean, it's nighttime. It's a thing. Don't worry about it. I mean, wait, I was just
we'll
saying,
be able to get in the morning.
if you have a contact there, it's worth checking out, I suppose.
I think we should rest here for the night if our new friend Nikolai would allow us to stay in his camp.
Oh no, awkward pause.
You can stay here, but I'm going to have to, I'm gonna have to keep an eye on you. Nothing personal, I don't know you. I have some people with me and we'll sleep in shifts just to keep an eye.
Who's with you?
Just some of my hunting party. We came out here, as I mentioned earlier, to hunt.
Insight check.
Yeah, to hunt what?
Damn it, I rolled a 1 again.
That sounds legit. Lots of people hunt in the woods.
No, but Vasily legitimately asked, what? To hunt what?
Yeah, Vargas is like, gentlemanly, and he also wants to. I rolled a 17. He's like, oh, what's the game like in this area?
Oh, you didn't see deer, wild animals?
Mostly deer. Well, I didn't know
Forest
if you
thing.
had a particular sport of choice,
Would you like to go hunting with us? The deer is in season.
That could be fun.
Now?
No.
Oh, no, not
now.
No.
Okay, so are you bedding down for the night?
I can take a first watch.
I'd like to get some rest because I am still a little injured from.
So am I.
This escapade.
Marcus has just been bleeding this whole time.
I really haven't. My hit points have been at 18 out of 38, so I could do with a wee little nippy nap.
Okay.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Vasily doesn't want to sleep. She's going to stay up and watch as well. She does not feel comfortable with this situation. It's too familiar, too fast. This is too weird.
Mercy is very happy about these new friends she's made. And she goes to sleep after cleaning the bottom of her dress that got all muddy.
All right, and so are you taking shifts to sleep?
Yeah, it sounds like Pandora and Vasily are going to take the first shift.
Okay. Are we doing 3 shifts or just 2?
I'll be on a shift with Constantina.
Sure.
Okay, so we'll do Pandora, Vasily, and then you want second shift, Mercy and Constantina?
Mm-hmm. I just want to rest enough to refill my health.
Okay.
So I don't know if that second shift will cut into that time, but
It shouldn't. You should still get 8 hours, even if it's broken up.
okay.
And Vargas, are you going to be taking a shift at any point?
I will say yes, and I will sleep through it.
Vargas is on
Vargas.
3rd shift. All
I
right.
also mentioned that we'll have shifts of Nikolai's people too.
Oh,
So we'll
yeah.
be 1%
Yeah.
up.
Are you taking the same shifts as them, like watching together, or are you taking shifts watching them?
Yeah, we'll be, kind of both. We'll
Okay.
be awake during their shifts so that someone in my party can keep an eye to make sure these people aren't suspicious.
Are you yourself taking any shifts?
Yes.
Okay.
Nikolai will take the first shift with the lady in all the armor.
Everyone's in love. Roll a d20 to fall in love.
Yeah, because he likes her or because he's suspicious?
It could be both. Look, embrace
not
the
both?
power of and. Okay, so I would like for Pandora, Vasily, and Nikolai to all roll a perception, and then we'll role play a little bit if you two wanted to have chats or you three wanted to have chats, and then I'll tell you whether you see anything.
I got a 6.
Okay.
I got a 20 non-natural.
Okay. Nikolai?
19.
Okay. Nikolai, not only are you watching, but you're also kind of listening in on Vasily and Pandora's conversations. Vasily, Pandora, was there anything you wanted to say to each other?
Vasily has noticed from the start with Pandora that she looks very tired, and she kind of rummages around. She has a lot of flasks and bottles and stuff kind of attached to her underneath her jacket and everything, and she pulls out one that's like a brown liquid, and she's like, this is something I've been working on. It's made from some beans. You could try to drink this. It might help you feel more awake. I've only tried it a couple times, but it might be all right. You can try it.
I appreciate the offer. I don't usually have trouble staying awake.
Oh, you kind of look like you do.
It's kind of the opposite.
Oh. Don't want to.
Pandora looks away.
Okay. And Vasily kind of drinks some of the liquid. She's just like, okay.
Okay.
Sorry, I appreciate the offer. And Pandora's like, oh God, I offended her, and holds out her hand for the flask.
Vasily's like, I mean, if you don't want it, that's fine with me. Whatever. But she kind of like holds it to the side anyway, so she can take it.
I'll try this brew.
This witch's brew.
What does it taste like?
It's got kind of a smoky, acidic taste, but it tastes like she may have sweetened it just a little bit, just a tiny bit to kind of bring out that flavor.
Important question, like just as an aside, is this particular potion a suitable drinking temperature for Mercy? I know she has a problem with this.
Well, right now it's a little chilly. It's like it was brewed hot, but now it's cold at this point. But it still tastes very well. It's very nice in different temperatures.
Does it come in pumpkin spice?
I don't think Vasily's figured that one out yet. This is new. It might have a little side effect where you get a little nauseous if you drink too much of it, but we're working on that.
I got you.
Okay.
So, what brings you to Kartakass?
I literally have no idea.
Pandora's just like, good talk.
You're just
I mean,
here and you
perfect.
don't know why?
We were on a boat. I didn't want to be on the boat. Mercy was like, oh, there's these people. It'll be great. And then we got on the boat with them and I saw an awful monster and then we spun around or something and now we're here with you. I don't know either of you. I don't know. You could probably murder me. I view death as the eternal challenge, so it's fine, but it still wouldn't be great.
The eternal challenge?
Yes, I spend a lot of time figuring out how to defy death. That potion actually started out as an attempt at it. I figured sleep is kind of a diluted form of death, so I'm trying to kind of avoid ever sleeping, but it doesn't really work out. It was a failed experiment, but it's still pretty nice for what it is.
Interesting. I wouldn't recommend not sleeping. I've tried it.
When is the last time that you've slept?
Yesterday, more or less.
Vasily's kind of looks you up and down. What does more or less mean?
Look, I just don't sleep very well all the time.
Okay, well.
Or trance, that is.
Oh, yeah. Well. What about you? And she looks over at Nikolai.
I sleep a normal amount, I suppose. Is this what you do? You talk to people about sleep?
Well, I find it very interesting, but also you seem very suspicious. It could be just because you know nothing about us and you're letting us sleep in your campsite. I find that very concerning.
I mean, would you like me to kick you out of my campsite?
Kind of. I kind of hate this.
You don't have to stay here. You can go.
I have to stay here because Mercy is here. I have to stay here. And she just kind of deadpan stares at you the whole time. She's got these like creepy black eyes. Like she's kind of like I'm assuming there's like a fire and you guys are standing near it, but she's slightly far enough back to where she's kind of in shadow.
Pandora is not near the fire.
Oh, okay. Well, she's close enough. Like Bosley would be close enough to where there's like creepy shadows. Just...
So you don't know how you got to Kartakass or what you're doing here. So you don't know Pandora, and you're just gonna follow the stranger to Harmonia, and you're upset that I let you in my camp.
I mean, I didn't say I was pleased about the other information you just spouted out. I'm pretty sure I said that this is the worst day of my entire life.
No, that's fine. I was just making sure that I had everything. Yeah, this all seems perfectly normal. I definitely seem like the weird one in this scenario.
I agree. I'm glad we're on the same page.
It's not like I live in Kartakass, that I'm from here, and that I'm just doing a normal hunting thing.
When you put it like that, it does sound suspicious.
Okay. So why are you going to Harmonia? You just have a random contact and I'm the suspicious one? Do you even know how to get to Harmonia?
Oh, well, no, I'm hunting vampires.
In Harmonia? What's the Harmonia part?
Oh, that's where my contact is. I have an assignment.
All right. What did your contact tell you about getting into Harmonia?
Just that I should meet them there.
All right.
Yeah, I know. It isn't much to go on, is it?
This is fine. It's just that there's a lot of other information, like about the gates and the toll to get in. It just seems like there's a lot of information that was left out. And, I mean, there shouldn't be any vampires in Harmonia, so I don't know.
There shouldn't be any vampires anywhere. And Pandora's voice gets a little too loud.
No, yeah, that's right.
Bosley kind of like takes a step back, like, ooh, crazy lady.
Look, you seem to know a lot about it, and I understand your caution with us wandering into your camp at nighttime. But I'd appreciate any information you could give us.
I mean, I don't have a lot of information. Like I said, there shouldn't be vampires in There have been rumors, of course. There are always rumors, but there shouldn't be any vampires in Harmonia. There's a toll to get in, and you're clearly outsiders. I don't know that it'll be easy for you to get in. So there's just a lot going on here that it seems like your contact didn't tell you about.
What are these rumors?
I mean, just the rumors that you hear about vampires, that you never see them. You just hear rumors about vampires. When aren't there rumors about vampires?
You never see them if we're doing our job properly.
Well, there you go, I guess.
Okay, so the first shift passes by with, although heated words, no real danger attacking the site. Mercy and Constantina, you take second shift. I need both of you to roll perception. We'll role play it out, and I'll let you know if you see anything.
I got a 10.
Okay.
I got a 5.
All right. Have a conversation if you like. If you don't want to, that's fine too.
Second shift is always the hardest shift.
Did you see anything while you were passing through the mist? Like Vasily did?
My gauntlet, the metal sparked, but that's it. Did you see anything?
Well, when you were talking about memories, that I put it together that what I was experiencing, like the wine and the music and the chaos and the sound of breaking glass, were memories. I thought that it was just I don't know, some sort of vision or augury, but I think that the mist caused me to remember some things in my past. So I think now that it has that effect on everybody, and I didn't realize that before.
Things you've forgotten.
Yes, absolutely. I didn't even consider that they were memories until you had brought up that that was likely what Vasily experienced.
Can I ask you something?
Sure.
Why was your face on the wanted poster in Darkon?
Truthfully, I don't know, but I have some suspicions. I went to Darkon to meet with a group of people who share my values, who share my vision for the realms of freedom and purpose, and where no one can overrule anyone else, and everyone lives in harmony. And so I came to Darkon because I had received a letter from someone from an organization called the Matchbook Menagerie. And when I got to Darkon, I knew that I was being followed, and I kept seeing that person in the alleyway. So I never went to the meeting. And then all of a sudden, my face is everywhere. So I don't know. I don't know if I was framed. I don't know if I have forgotten something that I've done. I truthfully don't know.
I believe you. You talk about freeing the mist. Are you talking about? And Mercy kind of like looks both ways and like leans in really close to Constantina and says, "Are you talking about Dark Lords?"
Yes, truthfully, anyone who wields their power over other people, Dark Lords, Burgomasters, I mean, just anyone who prevents somebody else from living the free life that they are entitled to live, is really my purpose. But it goes, all the way to the top. Our whole realm is familiar with Dark Lords, but to me, they are one symptom in a larger problem.
Mercy kind of clutches your arm as she's leaning in, and her claws start to dig into your flesh a little bit as she clings to you, and she almost seems a little bit crazed, and she asks, "Have you killed a Dark Lord?"
No, I have never really killed anyone unless it was something that was attacking me directly. No. And to be honest, I don't like to solve problems with violence because that's what the oppressors do. They use violence as their tool, and I believe that there is a better way, through cunning um, and compromise. But at some point, I guess the Dark Lords aren't they can't be compromised with. But no, not yet. Is that something that you desire?
Mercy kind of comes back to her senses and lets go of your arm, and she says, "Oh no, of course not. I would never use violence against a Dark Lord. Not me. No." And she kind of looks in the other direction, avoiding your gaze.
I definitely don't believe you, but I'm not going to roll an insight check because I can tell that Mercy has a secret, and I think that we are all entitled to our secrets.
Okay. The second shift passes quicker than you wish to. You nod off a couple of times, but you feel like it's been a very comfortable shift. Honestly, there's not been too much in the woods, and the the other people who are in the hunting party, they all have sort of a noble air about them. Of all of them, they are all dark-haired. They are all strong-jawed, straight-nosed, not quite interchangeable, but fairly handsome hunting people. Mixture of men and women. There's something about them that implies a certain nobility in their looks. And when they switch shifts with Nikolai and the rest, they don't really acknowledge you. It's as though they already expected you to be in the camp, even though you never see Nikolai speak to them to give them any instruction. Third shift. Vargas.
Amy.
Vargas, how does your shift go?
Do I need to roll you an insight check for this?
You tell me, do you fall asleep?
No.
Okay, then roll me a
I think
perception.
even if these people seemed a little wealthier and like nobility, Vargas would still be slightly uncomfortable. So let's see, insight.
Oh, I'm sorry, it's perception, but...
Perception. Hold on. It would still be 12.
Okay. Vargas, there's not really anybody to talk to. The nobility go to bed. You are the only person on watch. The night goes by slowly. You are left there with your thoughts beside the fire. What's going on? What's going through your mind, Vargas?
Am I the only one on watch? There's no...
You are the only person on watch.
Do I see anything valuable hanging out? Like bags or anything like that? Actually, do I see any, like, just bags? I just want to go through them.
You see some saddlebags.
I would like to very carefully just take a little peek.
Absolutely. Go through and then roll me a d4.
Okay.
Nikolai, write down 4 things and then tell Vargas what he finds.
I rolled a 3.
Just give it a minute.
Yeah.
Now, in the meantime, you are surrounded by the sound of life in this forest as the sun is beginning to rise. And the horses are getting pretty restless by the road. And for the first time, you're seeing this landscape illuminated beneath these warm pinks and yellows and these sort of sherbet oranges. The dawn easily touches the base of the forest floor, and you could hear small animals sort of rooting along the undergrowth. You can hear the horses sort of pawing at the road. But other than that, and the sort of see-through mist, not much else. You do, in that saddlebag, find a lovely pelt. This is obviously a noble accessory. It's very soft, and it's been expertly tanned on the inside. It's an otter that you can just drape around your shoulders if you so desire.
I'm just gonna give it like a once over. I want to try and not necessarily like memorize what it looks like, but kind of familiarize myself, like what it feels like, what is particularly special about this, and then I'm just gonna put it back.
Okay. All right.
I just want to know that they have it.
All right. Was there anything else you'd like to do during your shift as you sit there with your thoughts?
Other than be nosy and sit with my thoughts, that's I just kind of... Actually, am I able to kind of step away from camp and look around a little bit, like kind of get a lay of what the land is going to look like during the day?
We're making an assumption that it's 12 hours. So if you guys went to bed at 9, you're going until 9 to wake up. So let's say you have 4 hours by yourself, a short rest's worth, to wander around camp if you so desire.
I'll just wander around, see if I can learn anything about this particular group of nobility that's going on this hunt. Like maybe look for some crests or documents with names on it.
All of the saddlebags have the same shape sewn into the sides, which is the head of a snarling wolf.
Okay. Do I find any like documentation, like a hunting permit with a name on it?
No, you don't find anything like that.
Okay.
Nothing with names. You can see a couple saddlebags, and these hunting bags don't seem like something that would be worn around town. It's very rustic, it's very torn and tattered. You do find as you go through a couple of the saddlebags that there are several changes of clothes, like even a little unreasonable for nobility to be wearing. And how far away from camp do you wander? Do you just stay in camp?
I won't wander too far.
Okay.
I'll say like I can still see the camp. If I was to see something pop up on the road, I could still like dash back to camp.
Okay.
We'll say,
Yeah.
Check my movement. I'll say like 15 feet. I walk like 15 feet perimeter.
Okay, yeah. As you pass through the undergrowth, after having gone through all the saddlebags and everything, as you pass through the undergrowth and you sort of pick your way over ferns and upturned stones, you hear the dulcet tones of a sort of babbling brook.
Okay. I will go a little closer to it.
Okay. As you approach this brook, you can see that there appear to be a couple of ravens that have started picking their way along the side of this stream. And as you follow these ravens and they start to hop along the stream, you see that there is an entire group of them, about maybe 20, that have all converged on one single spot.
Would I know that that's odd for an entire what was it, a disappointment of ravens, like a whole group?
Even in Ravenloft, 20 is a lot of ravens.
I'm gonna take a closer look.
Okay.
Carefully, because birds creep me out.
This group of birds is probably about 15. I'm so mad at you, Lisa. This group of birds is about 15-20 feet ahead of you. So as you pick your way along the stream bed, stepping over where the trickles are beginning to become these sort of rushing rivulets, these ravens all seem to turn their heads at you in one movement and then pick up and crash through the trees and fly away, leaving the body of a young woman beside that brook.
Oh. I will... Man. I'm going to cast invisibility on myself.
And as you are casting invisibility and your fingers are moving in that familiar pattern, you start to hear rustling in the undergrowth behind you. And that is where we will end for tonight.
Oh! What's done?
Oh my god! What did happen?
Don't kill our boy!
Oh man. Our handsome man.
Okay, well, I think this was a really good first session. I'm super proud of all of us, and I think things are going really good. We did run that raffle earlier. We had a raffle today. I forgot to announce it. Sorry, guys. For a set of cast tarot cards or Taroka cards, and then also a copy of the Samhain PDF by me and Kayla. And I believe those winners are Gabriel Knight 52 for the Taroka set, and I want to say Lord Banjo Pants. I think that's correct.
Yes.
If it's not,
A Dark Lord Banjo.
Okay.
Oh.
Dark Lord Banjo Pants.
I can't believe we have to kill him now.
So, Obo will be getting me all of that information, and we will be sending your prizes out shortly. We do plan to have regular raffles on this show, so even if you don't like the story, we do have swag, so stay for that.
I'll get stuff.
Yes.
Yeah,
Also,
it's great.
I don't have my Taroka cards with me. They're in another room, but I do have this bag of pepperoni. So
Yeah.
That's also on the giveaway.
So
it's not part of the raffle.
cards.
This is all mine, but
Yeah.
I have it. So good work, everyone.
Yeah.
Good talk, Margus.
I'm proud of you. Why don't we go around the lines and we're going to say who we are, and if you got something to plug it, and we'll start in opposite order. We're going to start with Ms. Jess Ross.
Hello, I'm Jess. I do lots of podcasts. I do a D&D podcast called D20 Dames, a bunch of different podcasts on the network, BTA podcasts, and I'm on an upcoming Numenera and Slasher tabletop podcast on the network Experience Points. So check all those things out.
And we're going to go Ms. Hannah.
I'm Hannah Rose. You can find me at Wild Rose Mage on the Twitterverse, and I co-produce and play in Worlds Apart, a 5th edition show that you can find on YouTube, which will also be releasing as a podcast soon.
All right. Ashley?
Sure. So I am a writer for Dungeon Masters Guild, and I work on lots of cool projects with Wizards of the Coast. And I'm currently working on a really awesome project called Uncaged. It's an anthology of retellings of myth and folklore legends with a feminist twist. So we're working on volume 1 right now. It'll be a 4-part anthology, and the first volume will probably come out in March. And that's a really exciting project. So if you follow Uncaged Anthology on Twitter, the hashtag, you can find all the details and see all the amazing creators. There's more than 100 people involved, and it's a really special project.
Awesome. That's a very awesome project. I think a lot of us in this stream are probably working on that. If not as writers, then as editors. Actually, I think every single one of us is on it. Yeah, because Sadil and I are editors, and the rest are writers.
Also
right?
artists.
And artists.
Yes.
God,
Artists,
I'm sorry.
writers.
Nobody cares, Kayla.
Yeah, Kayla, jeez.
Hannah's an editor too. Yeah, Hannah, TK. Yeah, everyone here is involved in this amazing project. So if that's evidence of how awesome it is.
Yeah, buy our books.
Yeah, buy our books.
Hadil.
Hi, it's me, your friend Hadil. You can find me online on Instagram and Twitter as Twittysuch, TWITTYSUCH, and I can attest to Ashley's lovely adventures because I just hosted a Winter Splendor party with my coworkers at my house.
Yay!
And everybody loved it.
Oh, I'm so glad.
Yes, mostly because I asked the DM for my work game to do it, and then he did it. So I was mad, so I did it. Anyway, I made meatballs, but I am also doing the Uncaged thing. I don't have a podcast with Jess, but she has so many, I bet she could fit me in somewhere. I have this pepperoni. That's it. That's all I have to my name is this pepperoni.
Perfect.
The end.
Kayla.
Hi, I'm Kayla. You can find me online at KAYNCLI. And even though Hadil forgot to mention it, we do Bramblefoot Adventures together. And
worst friend.
Right now, we're kind of catching up. I took, we both took some custom requests for December, so we're gonna pick some of those, and I will draw them, and then we'll kind of pick back up with our collaborative stuff, kind of output it as we come across it. Basically, lots of whimsy, all ages content. Patreon.com/Bramblefoot Adventures. Hadil clearly hates me and wants to forget I exist. It's fine.
No. Also, somebody said Trapped in the Birdcage, but that's on a hiatus until the summertime. So it's
there. It's waiting.
Oh yeah, just watch the VODs. I'm very funny. Yeah.
Yep. Hadil is very funny. It's true. So back to me. You can also find my website. It's kaylaklein.com. I'm doing clothing designs with Holly Conrad at etsy.com/shop/trashwitchcoven. I don't know. Oh, TK and I did a comic called Samhain, which is what we gave, one of the things we gave away. It's great. You can buy it. There's links, I think, on both of our Twitters if you want to buy it. And I'm working on another Strix comic right now and to draw a bunch of stuff. Woo!
Okay, and Ms. Lisa Chen.
I have been Lisa Chen. I am the community manager of the Adventurers League. I'm also the community manager of Dungeon Masters Guild, where you can publish your own D&D 5e creations. I am the host and producer of Behold Her podcast, which is all about women in the world of tabletop RPGs. You can find me and all the D&D things I do at Merciful DM.
Okay. And I am TK. It's me. It's TK. And I write spooky stories on the internet. If you like spooky stories, check them out. tkjwrites.com or follow me on Twitter. TK joins the fray. I have a schedule of all the games that I do. I do a lot of streamed games. Got a little pinned tweet and everything for it. And that is pretty much it. Buy my book.
If you liked the show, you can follow us on Twitter at Misttales D&D. And if you are active on Discord, we also have a Discord, and it is in the pinned tweet. Is a link invite.
I believe Obo has a copy of the Discord link, the open one, and the Twitter. Yep, in the chat. So that is awesome. We love you. Thank you so much for coming out to see us, and we will see you in the mist.
Sleep well.
Bye.
I won't.